Hi everyone! Today we're doing another episode for Reindigenizing Minds.
Yeah, and I'm competing with that guy from Ancient Aliens with the funny hair. George with funny hair, Socios, or whatever his name is, but I'm competing with you. My hair's going to be wilder than yours. But today, besides, well, let me get this out of the way here so you know.
Okay.
Today I'm going to show you an actual solar chart that I use for predicting sunspot cycle activity. And it's made up of 10 rows going sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 rows going sideways. 9 rows going down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See now, and then you add it all up, and you add 1 year to start the next cycle, which would make it 91 years per solar cycle. Not 91 days, 91 years, actual years. And why 91? Because a solar year, which sounds weird, in 91 years, 91 years, 91 years, 91 years, and if you pull it all together and you make it into that 364 solar year I'm talking about, you look at it, it's made up in ways that are in angles. 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees, 90 degrees. What is that red arrow? The first 91 years is the winter cycle, where that red arrow is pointing to. And then once the next one, it's the spring 91-year cycle, which is 91 years of being like a spring season for it. And then where does it go after 91? It goes 91 years into the summer cycle. Down here, much like we have summer on Earth, but it's 91 years. And then 91 years later, it moves over to fall, where it starts, 91 years to go through the fall season, much like we do on Earth. And then it goes all the way back and starts all over in winter again. So that's what I mean by a solar year, which is a 364 years. This is the mathematical numbers I used to come up with it. But 90 is used on the sacred 260-year sacred calendar. So if you use 90 on the 260-day calendar, you'll be able to calculate what I'm showing here. But that's a whole nother subject. So I just wanted to show you the outline that there's 10 rows going that way, 9 rows going that way, and I'm going to explain why. Because 364 solar years, 13 times 7, there's that number, 13, equals 91. And then what's 91 times 4? 364. And what is that? Through the 364 years in a solar year cycle. So that's the bigger picture. Now I'm going to break it down into the smaller picture of the 11-year solar cycle itself and how it works with my chart here. Because right now it looks more like we're playing bingo than anything. Bingo! Oh, we got number 9. He wins. So it's no different. It's kind of like the sacred calendar. But this one, you don't go all the way to 13, one read or any of that. You automatically start where the 1 is at. And each one of these numbers represents a year. In other words, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. See? 9 years for the 1 row going down. Now, what did I say was the number for the solar cycle? 11. So we're at 9 years, 10 years, second row. And guess what the first one is? 11. That is 11 right there, which is the beginning of the next cycle. Look,
The next solar
the next solar cycle there.
cycle.
Now watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait, where am I at? Oh, over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And now we're starting to go down in a numerical order. The next solar cycle has a number
From 1 to
2.
2.
And then when you take that 2, 1,
And you add
2,
11
3,
years.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Then it's a 3.
Numerical order.
So it's
3.
the third solar
The
cycle.
third solar cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The fourth solar cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The fifth solar cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The sixth solar cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The seventh solar cycle. Then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then you hit the eighth solar cycle. Now, where it's going to go, it's going to continue doing this until it deviates all the way from here. Like it'll start over where this 8 was at, and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. See? And it's still going up in numerical order.
It went from the 8th to the 9th solar cycle.
So it's not just going to end here. It'll continue and continue and continue. But as it continues, it goes to actually to the very end, like where it started at the very beginning. Well, what do I mean by that? Over here, if you look at this realistically, that would be 2039 AD, and this would be 2038, if I remember right. So you're 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30, 29, 28, 20, 27.
The year 2027.
Which marks the last 11-year
Oh.
cycle of the entire solar cycle that'll be going before it starts going back to 0. Why? Because if you go back to that, and you got 11 set up to that, then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And where's 11?
Right there at the beginning again.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's how my solar chart research works, how the chart works, how the numbers work. I kind of made it short because I could have went the other direction where we would have went, 8, 9, and then we would have gone through all of these seasons.
And you got this information also from the Chumayel book of the Chilambalam, like the numbers. Is that correct?
Yeah. Everything is off of the ancient research. Everything I'm doing is based off of the ancient research. That one. Which is the book of Chilambalam, which gives you the solar cycles.
Those cycles, it gives you that.
And then I have, let's see if I can find it. I think it's in here near the, no, this is strange. If you go to the Elefante Caves in India, which is at 18 degrees latitude, 72 degrees longitude, Elephante caves. There is a temple in there that has a layout that is this. In one of their chapels on part of this temple complex, as part of it. This is the alignment that I found by looking at that diagram that was in that chapel by finding out what the latitude and longitude were. See, 18, 19, it's going up, 20, 21 in latitudes, and 72, 73, 74, 75 in longitude. So it's going in a straight line from the Elephantine Caves in India, which is an ancient Hindu temple complex. It'll go straight on up. It'll go to 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 28, until you see that little orange dot that says 2983. This temple complex tells the followers on what days they need to go on their pilgrimages. And in those days, for some odd reason, the Himalaya Tibetan Hindus and the Buddhists got along or coexisted. The Elephantine Caves were created for both Tibetan Himalaya Hindus as well as for the Buddhists to do their religious pilgrimages to their sacred places. How do I know that? Where that 2983 is located, if you go to 3082 to 3181, it takes you to the most sacred mountain of the Hindu in the Himalayas, Mount Kailash, which is where Lord Shiva is supposed to be located in a cave on a sacred mountain called Mount Kailash. Shiva is the destroyer of worlds and all of that stuff right there. And then back to that 2983, there's only one square and it goes to it this way for the Tibetan Himalayans. You go one square this way and you go over this way. Where does it take you? It takes you to the Buddha Stupa. The Buddha Stupa over here, it was set up for the Buddhists to come and do their religious pilgrimages and their religious duties, so that both religions, the Hindus and the Buddhists, utilize the same route to get to their locations. Not only that, how to get back from these locations, back to the Elephantine Caves. But what's important about the Elephantine Caves? This diagram that's in here, that I have drawn right here, where it shows Mount Kailash in the middle, it's basically a better version of doing global mapping than what I'm doing now. Thanks to Buddhas and his, and his Buddha mansion.
Buddhas.
I got a better way for you to do your global mapping that'll make your job easier. And anything to make my job easier, I'm up for, but I kind of doubt if anything would ever come along and make my job easier. No, really. You lay out this diagram, and it'll give you every trade layout for every trade route connected to it globally. And I went, what? With this diagram, I could use it anywhere on the globe at specific locations, and I could locate any trade route globally that's connected to it, to the other side of the world, to this side of the world. There's even some places where it's connected not only, from here on the surface, it's connected right straight through the planet to the other side. Mohenjo-daro, if you went straight to Mohenjo-daro, straight to the planet, where does it take you to? Easter Island. What are they finding on Easter Island? India script on their boards over there. I wonder why. The spirals that you're seeing in petroglyphs, some of them do represent portals and water and all of that. But there's certain ones that represent these routes that will tell you that there's trade routes that are connected to something directly on the other side of the world. Like Baba Kivri is a good example. Iatoi, the creator of man, in southern Arizona at 31 degrees latitude over here, and way out in the middle of the Sonoran Desert. But if you go directly to the opposite side of the planet, in other words, straight through the globe, directly to the other side, to 31 degrees latitude on that side of the world, where does it take you to from Baba Kivri? It takes you to Mount Kailash at 31 degrees latitude over there in Tibet. See what I mean about this? That's not just mentioning the surface global trade routes we're going, in arches, but also the trade routes that are going directly through the planet itself to the other side. There's plenty more examples, but right now I'm just trying to explain, my diagrams, what I'm using. Basically, using ancient Tibetan diagrams that I'm finding that seem to be utilized for trade purposes.
And so this design that you got here, you got it from the Buddha stupa, the
No.
Buddha or Elefante caves?
Mm-hmm. No, over here at Buddha Stupa, that's the location where the Buddhas said told me that I got a better way of doing things if you just follow the diagram, and then you can locate things easier globally than what you're doing now. But the interesting thing about this, and I know this is going to be weird for Native Americans to relate to, but if you talk to the Buddhists, the Tibetan monks even, if you ever, the guys in the orange, dresses that are running around out there for Tibet, if you ask them themselves what this represents, it's a diagram of the union of heaven and earth.
Oh.
But what is heaven and earth? Mount Kailash, heaven. Baba Kivri, heaven. There we go.
All right, thanks, Raj.
Yeah, well,